Okay, welcome back. We're gonna. I don't even know where to start, really. Should we just start with the salad, or do you want to tell them some of the tips on?
Well, I just would love to. I think I'd love to start with it, and then I can tell them a little bit of tips. But this is such an easy salad; it's really like a one-pot wonder.
Okay.
I just want to tell everybody, like, I love cilantro. Do you like to cook with cilantro?
I do,
at all?
yes.
I just love the fragrance. But everyone always asks me, like, how do we keep cilantro fresh for like over 10 days?
Oh, yeah.
That's like one of the tips in my book, because one of the chefs, we always, if you want to keep it 2 to 3 days, a wonderful thing is just to wrap it in like a little bit of a damp paper towel. Everybody knows that, and put it in a Ziploc bag. But if you're going to really keep it like over 10 days or up to 10 days, a real little trick that a chef told me was just snip off the ends, put it in a glass of water, cover with a plastic bag with a rubber band, and put it in your refrigerator.
Really?
And then change the water every couple of days. So that's one, and it can be done with some basil, anything with like a root system, just like a flower.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's what I really love to tell people, because sometimes it starts to wilt.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking, I've never seen it last 10 days in my fridge.
And this is one of my favorite things. I use this and my little scissors that I love to snip. But I was going to say, this is one of my favorite things, like this planer that I love to use with like cheese or like a lime zest or what have you. I just love this. This is just terrific. And my little handy kitchen shears.
This is actually a woodworking tool, is what you're saying?
Yes, it is.
It's not a kitchen tool.
Yeah.
Your husband's now missing this from his shed.
Like sometimes my husband uses that too. But I'm saying, I just love this for like grating cheese and doing some lime or lemon zest. That's really terrific.
Yeah.
And also with this recipe, I did this a little bit earlier today. It took me a couple of seconds to do. Is that anytime you're using or you're grating some of the lemons or the limes, don't really use the white part of it, because that's like bitter. Even oranges, always just use the outer part of that.
Right, okay.
So that's another little tip for everybody. But it's just a wonderful recipe, and I just love the jalapenos too, because it gives it a little bit of a bite.
That.
Yeah, that's the difference of this particular Caesar salad versus the others. But you'll see how easy this is to pull together.
Okay.
Really, really easy.
How easy
all it is basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a little bit of, this is about 4 teaspoons full of Worcestershire sauce. I never know how to say that. It's Worcestershire. And this is 1.5 tablespoons of sherry vinegar. And this is the zest of 1 lime, or 1.5 limes, is but I basically put in 1 lime. And 1 egg. A little bit of, anytime I buy eggs, I always like to buy like the jumbo or the extra large. I always like that, A little bit of salt just to taste. A lot of times today, I'm really using a lot of sea salt. My son really got me turned on to that. I was using kosher salt a lot, and now, do you find yourself that you really use a lot more sea salt?
I've always used sea salt.
Yeah, I love it. And this is just a jalapeno that all I did was I just basically cut it in half and chopped it up a little bit. You don't have to, because I'm putting in the food processor, and taking out some of the seeds and some of the veins that has a lot of heat in it. If you like to have a lot of heat, you can leave that in, the veins and the seeds. And if you're really dealing with something that's really, really hot, really hot chili, then you should wear gloves. But this is just a jalapeno. So, and then he likes the Serrano, but I couldn't find it yesterday, so just that. And this is a 1/2 cup of olive oil. Okay. The recipe calls for 1 cup. I'm using a 1/2 cup, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk in to thicken it up a little bit, the other half. So that is basically it.
That's just the dressing.
Yeah, that is it. I'm just going to click it in, turn it on, and that is the dressing. I'm just going to make sure that, and you can use it in a blender if you want, or a food processor. And I'm just going to mix it up a little bit. Just make sure the jalapeno is all done. How easy is this? But this is really impressive for your family.
And it's quick.
Well, that's the thing. My recipes are all 5 to 30 minutes. That's the bulk of them, but they're elegant. And that's the difference between this book and like some others that are quick and easy, but they're hot dog salads.
Right.
See, my book is healthy, and it's quick, and it's easy. And that's why people really...
because there's never been a book like this out then, because you're right. It's either like, like the craft little book they send out with the newspaper, so you can make a hot dog salad, a macaroni salad, something like that.
Yes.
And it's not great food, but this is great food. You've just calmed it down, because if you bought this man's recipe book, you'd have, you're making something the day before, keeping it in the fridge overnight, you have to go to the specialty shops, et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. Well, what I find is that like chefs don't create books for us, like
it's
the
for
home
themselves.
chefs. It's for themselves, and they don't know because they've all been trained. Remember, I'm a home chef that just happens to love to cook, eat, and entertain.
Right.
A lot of chefs, they write it, I don't know who they're writing it for, but through their own eyes. And that's why it really took a home chef to do this. And it wasn't easy to get these chefs. That's why it took me 5 years. I mean, I've been all over the country speaking. I'm going down to Disney next week, for the Food and Wine Festival, just speaking about my book. Last year I was there cooking from my book. Because people want to know, the number one question people ask me is, how did you get these chefs to talk to you?
Sure.
And it wasn't easy. It took me 2 years to get them to even talk to me.
I can't even get them on my show.
That's right. And 3 years, because it's everybody who's anybody. The Danielles, the Tom Colicchios, the Gramercy Tavern, right here in Philadelphia, La Croix, Le Bec Fen, Straight Bass, the Cuba Vetri.
Yeah,
all those. That's right. All those recipes. So you see, look how nice this is. So now what I'm going to do is look how nice this dressing is, Kevin.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to whisk in just very, very slowly another half a cup of olive oil. And basically, that is the whole dish. Little by little, just whisk this in. And then and I'll show you how I'm going to put this whole thing together with my cilantro, my Parmesan cheese, and my croutons. By the way, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how Rick Bayless, what he does in his kitchen. An alternative, if you don't want the lettuce, is to do cut tomatoes.
Oh, wow.
With just cilantro on top and a little bit of the dressing, and there you go. And also, if you don't like croutons, another thing that Rick does is that he takes a grilled piece of bread and tops it with some goat cheese.
Right.
So I want to just and that's all in my book too, because it's all about options. It's every day, and also for company.
Well, because you might not want to do this 3 times a week, but you can make a difference. It's the same recipe, but just a little different flair.
Exactly. But look how easy this is, and I just want to show you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in. This is just romaine. You can get it right from the grocery store, already pre-cut and pre-washed. And you could have some leftover dressing for later. And then what I'm going to do is this is just Parmesan cheese. Mm-hmm. Another thing that he does is that he uses queso anejo, which is like a Mexican grated cheese.
Right.
And he has a little bit the difference of that between the Parmesan, it's got a little bit of snap to it because it's coated in some red chili paste. The wonderful thing about that is I tell you where to get it. That's where the source guide comes into play by email and phone number. Remember, everything's at your grocery store, but if you want to do it uptown, that's what I call it, I tell you where to get it.
Okay.
So there's no frustration. And then, of course, there's the wines, expensive and inexpensive, too. So this is just Parmesan cheese and, of course, my cilantro, which this is just, cilantro that I just took my kitchen shears to. Mm-hmm. And you can use, as much as little as you want. That's about a half of a large bunch. And I just mix it together. And that's all I'm doing. And then I'm going to plate it for you, and I'm going to put the croutons on top.
Okay.
And that's the whole Caesar salad.
Okay.
And how easy is that?
That was really easy. What we'll do is we'll take a quick break here, and then come back and we'll plate it. I'll taste it, and we'll start the next one. Do you think that works?
I think that's perfect.
Okay. We'll be right back.